Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping.
10 teens you won't believe actually exist. Being a teenager comes with its own set of special problems. If it's not acne, then it's a rebellious phase. If it's not that, then it's a crush that you for some reason won't admit. Your teens are probably the strangest time of your life. Nothing makes sense, but you feel like you own the world. Well, the teens on this list do. Well, at least in their own little or not so little ways. Some of the kids here would be worth the tag strange, and with good reason. Some for mind-blowing things, others tragically for ailing from very rare illnesses. These are the teens you just wouldn't believe existed unless you saw it for yourself. Number 10. Julia Vins. First on this list is the girl who's probably the most fittest on this list. Fondly referred to as Muscle Barbie, Julia Vins is one girl I would not go up against at an arm wrestling match. She's an absolute powerhouse. Why do you ask? Well, growing up, Julia had a passion that was quite unlike the norm, and she worked hard at it. This passion was bodybuilding. At just 19 years old, this teenager may look exactly like a doll, but don't let her pretty innocent face fool you. One look beyond her face, and there it is. Tons of ripped and surprisingly well-toned muscle. Huge muscles and enormous arms and shoulders enough to put an Olympian to shame. A pro wrestler would not even stand a chance against Julia. And why would he? Julia has been training for virtually her entire life just to look this shredded. Word to the wise, don't mess with this girl. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works. Number 9. MAHENDRA AHIRWAR. Imagine being born with a condition so rare that literally every doctor you meet turns you away. A condition so rare that it baffles every doctor you meet. Now imagine living through your terrible teens with it. This is the case of MAHENDRA AHIRWAR. MAHENDRA was an Indian boy who for a long time lived with the pain of a dreadful uncommon condition. At just the age of 13, he was tormented by such devastating congenital myopathy, his neck twisted 180 degrees from its usual position. Initially, 50 local doctors turned down his case, until in the long run, a fruitful crowdfunding initiative was put up, and it made it possible for him to find a surgeon who was able to operate and correct his neck. Thank heavens for the beauty of modern medicine and internet generosity. MAHENDRA is now able to lead a normal life. Number 8. Hunter STEINITZ. At first glance, one may assume that Hunter STEINITZ was a burn victim. Nothing could be further from the truth. Hunter suffers from something way worse. When Hunter was born, doctors were left completely at a loss for words. They were stumped by what they saw. Hunter was born with a thick skin plaque layer on her entire body, and she could hardly move and breathing was difficult. Her eyes and mouth were also the wrong way up. While doctors knew something was amiss, they didn't know what or why. This baffling medical condition is called harlequin ichthyosis. This condition makes her skin get very thick, red, and dry. Sometimes it gets so bad that she's not able to shut her eyes. In addition to this, her hair cannot grow anymore owing to the fact that her follicles have been blocked. The fact that she cannot sweat either comes with its own set of secondary complications. Number 7. Ellen Lights Out. If there was ever a world record for anorexia, hello Guinness, then Ellen Lights Out would not only qualify but also take runners-up, if not first place. I'm not sure about the ethics of it though, so I'll let Guinness look into that. Like any other teenager, imagine Ellen wanted so badly to become popular, because at that point in your life, the priority of being popular ranks up there. So in her quest for popularity, she made the grand decision that she would not eat or drink anything for a long time. And it paid off, much to her detriment of course. Ellen got a lot of publicity, even though for the wrong reasons. At just 17, she had to be dashed to the hospital after she passed out in school, after 1 full week of completely no food or hydration. I'm just going to go ahead and say what we're all thinking: being a teenager is hell. Number 6. Sierra Swearingen. Once in a while, you hear a story of impossible odds and the people who refuse to let life bully them, and it can bring a tear to your eye. This is one such story. Sierra Swearingen, a teenager from North Carolina, was born with an unusual disorder called giant congenital melanocytic nevus. This condition only affects 1 in 500,000 people, which unfortunately put Sierra in a very dangerous position. She was particularly at risk of developing malignant melanoma. This was made sadder by the fact that she grew up in North Carolina, but she couldn't even go outside in the sun to play with the other children. The condition made her grow moles all over her body, which gave her a very unusually spotted skin. Sierra, however, refused the idea that she had to hide away because of her condition, and instead stood up for herself and celebrated her body, instead of looking for a cure. Despite all the mocking and taunting by other kids, Sierra simply refused to let it get her down. Number 5. Fu WENGUI. Sometimes extra is not a good thing. Take the case of Fu WENGUI. WENGUI was found to have congenital scoliosis as well as an abnormal chest frame. Quite the cocktail at such a young age. Congenital scoliosis is a spinal malformation that occurs when vertebrae don't properly form. It takes place in the very early stages of development, usually in the initial 6 weeks of embryonic development. The extra vertebrae in the 15-year-old Chinese teen put pressure on the nerves in his neck and made it challenging for him to even walk. The extra vertebrae also made his neck unusually long, no doubt making him the butt of a few jokes. Teenagers can be mean. The 3 extra vertebrae in the spine were eventually detached, and this gave him the chance to lead a tranquil and painless life. And most importantly, finally allow him to get back to all the teenage events he'd missed out on. Number 4. Nihal Bitla. One of the saddest on this list. Nihal Bitla was born with an uncommon genetic condition called Hutchinson-Gilford progeria syndrome. The condition, commonly referred to as progeria, causes children to age about 9 times quicker than normal, and as a result, they have a much shorter life expectancy. At just 10 years old, Nihal looked like he was 60. It was then that his parents knew that they had to take him to see a doctor. At the time of his passing, Nihal Bitla didn't look like a teenager at all when he passed away at age 15. The illness made him look and feel like an old man, with even all the diseases that come with old age, except lifelong wisdom. Nihal still had a normal child's mind. Despite his death at such a young age, Nihal brought attention and helped demystify progeria by bringing awareness to the condition. This no doubt helped accelerate research and management of the condition. Number 3. Lucy and Maria AYLMER. Before you call this a bluff, hear us out. Lucy and Maria AYLMER are twin sisters. I'm sure by now these 2 sisters from Gloucester, England, are used to this. The girls come from the parents of different ethnicities, with their mom being half Jamaican and their dad being white. You would expect them to be mixed, but no. These girls decided to go a completely different route, each drawing from the contrasting ends of the genetic pool. Lucy is a ginger with markedly light skin, while Maria looks notably black with curly hair and dark skin. This phenomenon, commonly known as dizygotic or fraternal twins, happens when 2 dissimilar eggs are inseminated by 2 dissimilar sperm at the same time. This basically means that they're just regular sisters that coincidentally happen to be born at the same time. This would explain the girls' totally different looks. Lucy even says that no one ever believes that they're twins because she happens to be white, while Maria's black. Twins may dress alike, but for these sisters, it doesn't change much because they still look very different. As if that's not enough, she says that she's met friends for the first time who never believed they're twins and made them show their birth certificates as proof that they were indeed twins. It would quite simply be a feat to find twins like these 2. And with that, it's now time for today's best pick. Today's photo was sent to us by a subscriber, so if you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it over to us. We might even feature it on our future video. Number 2. Abigail and Brittany HENSEL. Abigail Lorraine Hensel and Brittany Lee Hensel are two American girls who were born as conjoined twins, meaning their bodies have merged while keeping their heads separate. The 28-year-old Minnesota natives first gained national attention once they were 6 years old and made an appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Show, but it wasn't until they got their own special, Joined Forever, that individuals fell smitten with these charming twins. The success of Joined Forever eventually led to their short series, simply titled Abby and Brittany. Conjoined twins are already extremely rare, occurring just once in every 189,000 births by some estimations. But Abby and Brittany are dicephalic parapagous twins, meaning they need two heads but one torso, which frame only 11% of these conjoined twins. They need double the organs for the highest half of their body, meaning 2 hearts, 4 lungs, 2 stomachs, but share many of their bottom half, including the set of reproductive organs. Each twin controls their side of the shared body. They each control half the body, which is packed with a pair of every organ, although it's strikingly normal and symmetrical from the neck down. These twins effectively appear as if a standard person with 2 heads, and with that, they raised much attention within the scientific community and beyond. Number 1. Isabella Leclerc. Isabella Leclerc is a likable young Canadian woman. She's studying engineering at the University of Ottawa, plays the guitar, piano, practices yoga, loves spending her time along with her friends, and like many in her age group, keeps an Instagram account. This can be where Isabella publicly shows how she differs from most 21-year-olds. Her right leg is sort of twice as thick as the left because Isabella has been living with Parks-Weber syndrome since birth. This causes abnormalities within the blood vessels, which is why lymphatic fluid accumulates within the individual limbs. As a result, Isabella Leclerc developed lymphedema. To this day, she keeps inspiring people all around the world along with her positive attitude. Despite receiving stares and a spotlight when her leg is on display, Isabella says it's vital to be confident in yourself. She said, "I think it is vital for people that have health issues to not only work on getting in good physical shape, but to figure on loving yourself and accepting who you are. For me, beauty is not only on the skin. After I say someone is gorgeous, I see someone who causes you to feel good when you're around them." To the people living with this condition, she's quick to feature that they deserve to be loved and valued not only by others, but most of all, by themselves. If you have low self-esteem, you can't solve that overnight. However, like everything in life, you'll be able to improve it slowly but surely. Find something you're keen on about yourself rather than specializing in the items you don't like. According to her, ugliness is simply a failure of seeing.